No chichis and no peaches, but I do have a couple of good mods that you guys might like. It's been a bit of time since Resident Evil 4 has came out, and a lot of people have been playing it 700 times. You guys are goddamn insane, by the way. So I thought it was actually appropriate to come out with an ultimate modding guide series, a guide helping siphon through the best mods on the internet to give you a better
toasted tiki Texas style
experience. And I can guarantee you with these mods, it'll make your gaming experience that much better and cosmetically as well.
This one's for Texas.
Before we begin, these mods are specifically designed to work in a cosmetic fashion, meaning if you want anything that changes the gameplay or anything like that, it will not be included here because I do feel very strongly that Resident Evil 4 Remake has a very strong gameplay aspect, and that's not something I think anyone should change. So with that ahead, I got 3 mods that are for essential improvements. The first one is going to be RE Framework. Made by Prey Dog, what this does, it allows both modding and newer framework to be added into Resident Evil 4 Remake. It actually opens up the game and allows higher field of vision so you can see more of the game. Also for people like me who have ultra wide monitors, it does open up that 16:9 into 21:9 and beyond. So if you want to play on whatever ultra wide monitor you have, you can absolutely do that. Free camera is also usable in this kind of aspect, and it's great too because you can also get higher quality details that you really can't do with, let's say, photo mode, but it's nice to go beyond the bounds of the game if you really want to go through that. Most importantly though, you can add DLSS too. It's great for those who have 3060s and beyond that allow you to use DLSS to reach higher frame rates and smoother gameplay. This also makes it easier if you want to use in conjunction with ray tracing, and while the game doesn't do the best to implement ray tracing, it is an option if you wanted to have that with base game, and I think with DLSS it's a very cool way to go for that. So you want to start installing your mods. That's where the Fluffy Mod Manager comes in by Fluffy Quack, allowing you to install all of the mods for Resident Evil 4 into one cohesive package that you can actually use for other games. It's a really nice way to do that and have everything in one package. Those annoying intros are, well, annoying. And that's why the No RE intro by Sad User 5557, probably got that wrong, allows you to skip the RE engine logo and just go straight into game. It introduces a 1-second black screen, so if you wanted to get into the gameplay, that's why it's so usable and worth it. The cosmetic changes, this is going to be the bulk of the video. I have to start with the Ada Wong dress. Created by Steve BG23, it recreates the original Chinese dress that Ada Wong used in the original RE4, and honestly, this was really missed in the original experience of the remake, but it's nice to be able to bring that back, and if anything, it feels like exactly how it should. I was slightly underwhelmed by Ada Wong's appearance in Resident Evil 4 Remake, so having something like this is great, but there is another thing you could add too. The Ada RE4R dress by Rack allows a very cool aspect that recreates the Chinese dress but modernizes it for the Resident Evil 4 remake. So let's say, for example, with Ashley right here. Her appearance in Resident Evil 4 is very similar to how her appearance is in Resident Evil 4 remake with some changes, but it does modernize some of the textures and the way she looks in that presentation. Think of that same concept, but it's also brought with Ada Wong. And that's what's so nice about it, because it also has a new take that I personally do wish that Capcom would have done with something like this. That way it takes an older concept and modernizes that while still retaining that. And that's why I'm not a fan of the original Ada Wong look. This one just looks fantastic as well. Both of these, they're not bad choices. What's nice too is that the dresses also have physics to them as well, so they're not going to be static pieces, they're going to be flowing with whatever action you're doing, so it's nice to see that there's that integration as well. That disgusting ugly paint can be completely removed with the No Ugly Yellow Paint Everywhere by Bonus JZ doing exactly what the name says. The original Resident Evil 4 remake had barrels that were scattered around through the entire game, and they had provisions and items that you can use. Well, that concept has been introduced into the remake. there has been yellow paint that's been splattered. That way it doesn't blend in with the background, and a lot of people, myself included, don't like the yellow paint, so this mod takes all of that away. And it really does blend with the background for better or worse. But I do see why the developers kept the yellow paint in, but I still prefer it removed. You could also add the Illuminado signature and also have red paint on it. So there is a little bit of variation, but if you just want it removed entirely, there's your option. A lot of people aren't a fan of the new Leon face model, and that's where the classic RE4 Leon by Crazy Potato comes in. Based off the Christian Dior, the face model uses the Christian Dior's likeness and integrates that into Leon's model. Well, I won't lie, sometimes at a bit of a distance it looks a little bit odd. In cutscenes it's absolutely beautiful and a really nice addition. This mod also includes a hair texture that you can use that replaces Leon's original hair with something more akin to the 2005 version. It's nice too because it does have that level of quality, but the problem is you cannot use hair strands, so you're not going to get that nice hair strand quality. I actually do like the hair strands, so for me it is a little bit of a miss on that, but I know some people don't care for that option. But just make sure if you have the hair on, take the hair strands off. And the last one I like, and my personal favorite, it's called Salazar Gets His Hair Back by Kira 5Z. And I did have a problem with Salazar. He had this Comandante hat that looked very, very cool, and that's been removed for the scraggly old man thing. And what's nice is that the hat actually goes to its rightful place. I don't know why the hat was removed, and I still much rather prefer that, but it's a very cool aspect to do. Keep in mind though that the hat is actually imported from the 2005 original. You're gonna see a visual discrepancy between the 2005 textures and the high quality textures that you see in RE4 Remake. So do keep that in mind. But I will say the scenes that you do see Salazar might be few and far between when it comes close up, so it's not that big of a deal, but for other people might actually strike a chord. So there you go. And those are the mods for this modding guide. Now I will admit, I glossed over a lot of them because a lot of them do change the fundamentals of the gameplay, like changing the charms or unlocking all of the charms, having an easier crosshair or scope. But I personally do feel that does ruin a lot of the gameplay that this game does. So that's why I've included no gameplay changes, because the game feels balanced as is. And it gets harder too, so if you die, that's kind of your fault. But what do you guys think? Are you going to be using these mods for the RE4 Remake, or do you think the game's stock or other mods? Probably the chiches one, I know you. Let me know in the comments below, but I guarantee you todo van a ser todos los chiches, ya vas a ver. I want to thank these lovely people right here for supporting the channel. Thank you guys so much as well. But if you want to see other modding guides that I've done, or maybe RE4, right here you can see all the videos I've done. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this video and you watching, and I'll see you very soon.